Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Oh, it's finally here. One of you guys sent us an email, yeah? And you said, hello, mate. How are you? I said, you're all right, mate. And he said, I found a Spanish-Indian collaboration, flamenco. Now, they said flamenco. However, I heard about 10 seconds of it, and it's actually rumba. Rumba. Wow, I couldn't roll my ass. That was mad. Yeah, my mum would be so disappointed in me. But yeah, it's rumba. It's not actually flamenco. Rumba is a style from Andalusia. And flamenco, it's... flamenco is also regional to Spain, but it depends on the areas. And like in the north, it might be a bit different, and in the south, it might be a bit different. But this is Kina Sona, and the singer, I think the singer's name is that, but it's a original by Nusrat Ali Fateh Ali Khan. Fateh Khan, sorry. What the fuck? Bless you.
That's alright.
Nusrat Ali Fateh Khan.
I do think this is gonna be a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I heard the first 10 seconds.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The cinematics and shit. Come on, have a look, Dad. Yeah, come on, have a look. Yeah.
Join in. That's beautifully equalized. Woo!
Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Enjoy and jammy.
That guitar sings. That's what I need. That's awesome.
I told you, dude. I told all of you.
The cinematics, though.
I even told Jubin.
Ooh, how cool. So there is a mixture of like...
Of course. So there is, before we go into sort of the meat and bones of it, what is it saying, meat and bones? Meat and rice. Rice and bones.
Okay.
The fish. They see a cajon and then you see two dolacs. Obviously, that's probably the Indian instrument that they're going to only utilize. I thought they would utilize tablas, but that's the cajon in the middle and that's a dolak. Spelled D-H...
Yeah?
O-L-A-K.
Oh, wonderful.
Maybe it's pronounced dolake, I don't know.
And a double bass with a Spanish guitar.
Yeah.
So that's
There's also another dolak player to the right of the cajon player. So go on. But yeah, that's probably the only sound, if you recognize that percussion is, that's the only Indian instruments that they use in the video, because I saw this picture. Go on. Would love to see a tabla involved though. Ooh, hard entry.
That's really hard. I love the palmas.
I don't know where they're coming from. That rumba.
That is so bizarre, See, that's what's really freaking wild about this this fusion of elements, because
Talk your shit.
Okay, in Indian music industry, the entrances are really funny because the tempo signatures that they usually work in, they're quite difficult too, and they play a lot with the rhythmicality and the tala of the singing phrases. They're all over the place for my Western brain, right? So in my mindset, I had never been exposed to any of that, but in this case, you got the flamenco cuts, the flamenco, the rumba addition to this whole really complicated time signature in which she's singing in. And so you have, my brain is like split in two right now. It's like trying to understand what she's doing and then trying to understand what they're doing because it sounds familiar to me. And the whole musical composition is like a split experience.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm really quite like impressed by
Also
it
something
all.
funny, if you look at the credits of the video,
Yeah.
he's the only Spanish person, the guitarist. Miguel, actually, the flamenco guitar, like a lot of them are like from Poland or from like Eastern Europe and stuff like that. None of them are actually
Isaac
Spanish.
Peña González, the
Yeah,
cajon player.
the cajon player, he's Spanish, but like
Spanish.
Maxi, like Hazam Sami, like the Dolak player. That is very unlikely he's from Spain. Or like Mateo Rimbert. Like, you know what I mean? It's like very unlikely they're gonna be Spanish. So it seems that this is exactly what the channel's about, because it's like worldwide people from all over the place. Even if they were born in Spain, they probably have heritage from all over the place. But yeah,
This is brilliant, fantastic. The fusion is so clever.
the composer,
think it's them.
I think it's Miguel. His name is Miguel
Tchaikovsky.
Tchaikovsky. He's even got a name of like a.
Like a composer.
Yeah.
Because?
Even the chords are very, very.
See, this is a cover though.
It's a cover of
This is a
Nusrat,
cover.
Fateh Ali Khan.
Yeah, so this is a cover. So this is their fusion take of the original.
And if I'm correct, Sona means beautiful, right? Because
Ena
Sona,
sona
the Arijit song, that means you're beautiful. So Sona must mean beautiful. So Kina maybe means, I don't know. Still yet to learn, go on.
Okay.
I presume. Spelled differently. There you go, Ena Sona. 5, 4, 3.
Vaya, Miguel. Oh my God, he's doing the raga.
I told you!
That's beautiful. Oh my God! What? Yeah, I know. That's what makes it beautiful.
Oh, that cajon is nice.
I've always said this was gonna work. Oh, the vocal layers are beautiful. What? What?
That's ridiculous.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
What
Jesus.
do you mean? That's so cool. I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan.
I told you, I knew it from the beginning. Since we first heard Hindustani classical and then we heard Carnatic, we did that classical podcast. Then I started listening to a lot. We started listening to a lot more music, like from Arijit, Jubin, Shreya, Sunidhi, Sonu Nigam, Fateh Ali Khan, everybody, B Prak. All of a sudden, and we're like, hold on, what is
Listen,
that?
it would work so well with this Spanish music industry.
Yeah. It would
And
work
then-
amazing.
Yeah, but here's why, and this is it. That split situation in my brain is just so beautiful because it's like sparking it is touching into the familiarity aspect of things. Even though we're South American, we did grow up listening a lot to rumba.
Not my area of expertise by any means.
But we were really familiar with the genre itself, growing up with those type of influences in Latin rhythms too. So again, it's hitting into a nostalgic area of my brain, but at the same time, it's like, wow, this is brand new, this is fresh and stimulating.
For some period of time in the channel last year, we were diving deeper into the Spanish music industry because it was fairly brand new to us. Also, there is a lot of different music all over Spain. Kind of similar how in India, even though obviously geographically India is fucking ginormous in comparison to the land of Spain. But
you would need a lifetime to cover out everything.
But in Spain, there's still really popular singers from different regions and stuff like that. And we're friends with some of them. We're familiar with a lot of their work. And we were doing that. It's just copyright. It's fucking impossible sometimes. And even if we speak to some of our friends that are the artists, they're like, mate, this is outside of my hands. So we stopped kind of checking that out for those reasons, in case you were ever wondering, because a lot of people that we will do it in Spanish as well. But one of the things that always made sense to us is there's obviously a connection between Latin music and Spanish music. I mean, of course, it's probably the other way around, Spanish music and Latin music. But it seemed that some of these scents, some of these accents in terms of percussion were also prevalent in Indian music industry, South Asian music in general. So that was really sort of thought-provoking. I don't think I ever voiced that as clearly as I probably should have in the first videos when we were checking out Indian music. But I think after we were checking out more classical music, it kind of made more sense. Seeing like people like Zakir Hussain play the tabla, it made sense to a certain extent that, maybe that's where we took those type of ideas for percussion and arrangements. Maybe, and Spain kind of maybe through the Middle East, because you get melismas, and that's basically, that all comes from Arab influenced singing, and it goes into Spain, and Spain colonizes South America, and South America then therefore utilizes not only, there's obviously the Caribbean islands, right? So,
and there's also a lot of the Afro influence
that comes from the Caribbean islands, right?
No, that comes from Africa, straight from like the slavery around the same era as the colonization.
But it was people from Africa, right, through trades that obviously went to South America, but then they dispersed to the Caribbean islands.
Correct.
And
it
they
became
built
a
lives
subgenre.
there. Exactly.
And
They started becoming subgenres.
Right.
And that's why you have things like reggae and ska
Correct.
and things like that. And then
a lot of those
Calypso, yeah.
And a lot of the Latin rhythms, folkloric rhythms, actually have a lot of base in the Afro music rhythms
but
itself.
But it seems, geographically speaking, if you go from South Asia, right, to the West, it makes sense that you would have to traverse through Ethiopia, Egypt. You would have to traverse all of Africa. You would have to go north, past Algeria, go to Spain. Then you have to continue to keep going west. You go to the Americas. Then you go. You know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense. Again, in my head, I could be fucking wrong.
And no, and there is some truth. There's some truth.
It would traverse like that, right?
There's some truth to it also in the little knowledge I know from music history.
Right.
That a lot of the roots of music itself, formalized, actually began in South Asia and Africa.
Yeah, it's either those two places. I don't think there's any. I mean, there is also I think it probably took longer, and it's probably going to take a little bit longer as well to understand the impact of West Asia in music, because you obviously have East Asia, like China, Japan, especially China, probably, like the impact that they had.
The imperial music from
exactly, like, because they're so old.
Correct.
And it's probably those three. It's either.
I just think based on music history, though, the colonization had a huge impact into why the music in certain parts of the world is what it is,
right?
And it is where the fusion of cultures and subgenres comes from. So musically speaking, you have a lot of that. I don't think China ever pushed to colonize the West,
right.
So therefore that transition of music influences isn't as strong in the West as it is in the rest of Asia. But then again, it's all part of digging a little bit deeper, right? Because I'm not a
There's
historian.
also
I
a
don't
huge
know.
relationship between China and India, right? I mean, not the friendliest sort of relationship, but historically, they've.
Well, it was the same.
Well, there's in the
Italy
colonization.
and Spain.
Wasn't
so
wasn't the
it's never-
friendliest.
It's never been the friendliest,
It
right?
wasn't a friendly occupation.
Yeah. So I
But
guess
the interchange
Yeah.
happens, right? Because
happened.
like politics and war and all that stuff happens, but it happens in between people, you know, and it's like not.
Humans are humans at the end of the
And
day.
they're multi-layered, so it's
Correct.
like someone fell in love perhaps with someone from another place.
Exactly.
And they had families. Maybe someone read a book from another culture. You know, things like that must have happened. So again, we're just three people who play music or musicians who've done this for their whole lives, but never really looked into history of things. And now that we've traveled,
I have very basic knowledge
Oh,
because
you
I had
did
to
in
take
theatre,
it.
that's
I
right.
had to take it in uni, but the again, it's very superficial, and I know it's still very baby level to compare to what
yeah.
it
So
actually is.
if you're more knowledgeable than us, please. I mean,
Please share
that's
your
still very
knowledge
hard.
online.
But yeah, please in the comments. That's why I think I love YouTube, and I think it's so fun to be able to look at the comments. So please do correct us if we've made any wrong assumptions. And I'm sure people from all over the world are tuning in. So actually, I am sure because I look at this stuff and it's fucking scary sometimes. How sort of people from all over the world watch.
Hello world.
So yeah, do share your knowledge, links, and things like that, so we can all learn. And goodbye. Thank you so much for watching.
Goodbye.